Statement today, you said trans women are women. Ms. Goss Graves, what is a woman?
So a woman is an adult female. A woman identifies as a woman, and I actually think it is.
What do you consider a female? What is a female?
So there are some women who were assigned a female.
You say you're here to defend women. You say you're here to defend women, but shouldn't you be able to define one? Shouldn't you be able to define one if you're for women's rights?
That's literally what I'm.
Ms. Goss Graves, do women have penises?
Hey, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. And today, we need to talk about what just happened on Capitol Hill. If you care about women's rights, if you care about basic truth and common sense in America, you need to see this. Congresswoman Nancy Mace from South Carolina, the first Republican woman elected from her state, stood up and said what a lot of us have been thinking, but too many are too afraid to say. She confronted so-called experts in women's rights who can't even define what a woman is anymore. Let's break down what happened, why it matters, and why we cannot stay silent.
Ms. Goss Graves, so-called, quote, expert in women's rights. Do you know how many years it took South Carolina to elect its first Republican woman to Congress?
Well, what year did
100 years since women got the right to vote. Do you know how many years it took the Citadel, the Military College of South Carolina, to graduate its first woman?
Well,
157 years. So I have a series of yes or no questions I would like to ask you based on some of your previous statements. In your opening statement today, you said trans women are women. Ms. Goss Graves, what is a woman?
So a woman is an adult female. A woman identifies as a woman, and I actually think it is.
What do you consider a female? What is a female?
So there are some women who were assigned.
You say you're here to defend women. You say you're here to defend women, but shouldn't you be able to define one? Shouldn't you be able to define one if you're for women's rights?
That's literally what I'm.
Ms. Goss Graves, do women have penises?
So again, I believe that women.
Democrats have gone so crazy. Women can have penises. That's not a thing. That's not biology. It's not science. And you sound like a lunatic.
And the women.
Should young girls just get used to penises in their locker rooms and showers? My next question, yes or no? Should little girls get used to penises in their locker rooms and showers? Yes or no?
I don't know what you're talking about, but what I will say.
Oh, I absolutely do. We've heard testimony today about trans women. Those are women with penises. Those aren't real women. I'm going to reclaim my time. When President Trump issued an executive order to keep men out of women's sports, thank God he did. You said it was sexist.
Yes.
Bullying that harms all students.
Correct.
Is it sexist, yes or no, to protect women from men in sports? Yes or no?
If
Can't answer the question. Is it sexist to acknowledge basic science? Men and women are built differently. Is it sexist to acknowledge science? Can't answer the question. Does forcing little girls to strip down in front of men in locker rooms harm girls? Does forcing little girls to strip down in front of men in the locker room harm little girls? Yes or no? Can't answer the question. Does forcing little girls to shower? I'm going to reclaim my time. You can quit talking. These are yes or no questions. You can answer them or not. And you've chosen not to answer the questions today because you don't know how. It's shameful.
I know how to answer.
Do you support drugging and chopping off kids' genitals in the name of inclusion? Is that a thing for you?
I have to say.
You get off on that?
So stunned.
All right. When a biological man crushes a girl in a contact sport and sends her to the ER, is that your idea of empowerment? Is that empowering women when a young man beats a girl and takes her, sends her to the ER in a contact sport? Is that empowering women? Is that what that is?
Are you talking about Miss McNabb?
I'm talking about any woman who gets crushed in a sport by a man physically and has to go to the ER.
Miss McNabb and others.
I'm going to reclaim my time.
Concussion protocol.
Madam Chair, we'll show that the witness. I'm going to reclaim my time. You can stop talking now. I'm reclaiming.
This is Ms. Mace's time, Ms. Goss Graves.
I would like some of that time back, Madam Chair. If a man can be a woman, just identify as a woman, as you say, just by saying so, what is the point of having women's sports? What is the point of women's spaces? What is the point of women's scholarships? If you're just going to allow men to take them away, why even bother? Why bother? The loudest voices, I'm not asking you a question, I'm speaking. The loudest voices on the left claiming to fight for women's rights are the very first people to take them away, steal them, and tear these women down. You're the first to erase them. Mr. Liefeld, Ms. Goss Graves, you all are shameful.
I don't
I
believe
didn't come
that
here to
to be
play with an ideology hell-bent on erasing women and
don't
grooming
believe that to
children.
be true.
That's what you all are. You're groomers. And we're not
That is
going to.
shocking
The
and
chairwoman and I,
terrible.
Madam Chair,
And I
I'm going to
cannot
reclaim
believe
my.
that
This is
that
Miss
allowed.
Mace's time. Miss Goss Graves.
This
Miss
is
Goss Graves.
This is a shocking thing to
This
say about
Miss
me.
Goss Graves. You are not recognized.
Okay, but I just want to say that is a shocking.
You are
thing
not
to say about
recognized, Miss
anyone.
Goss Graves. The time belongs to Miss Mace.
Okay, fine.
Like Chairwoman Graham, I've been holding the line for women, standing between perverts and the rights of women and girls. And we're not going to let anyone in this country forget what a woman is. Mr. Layfelt, will you face Ms. Stephanie Turner today? Will you look her in the eyes? Will you apologize to her for the way that she was treated by USA Fencing, standing up for women and girls, women's rights, standing her ground as a woman who only wanted to fence with other women? Will you apologize to her today?
Congresswoman Mace, Ms. Turner was given a black card under our rules.
Will
which
you
align with those of
apologize for the way
International
she was treated?
Federation.
So that's a no.
So,
won't do it.
Congresswoman, if I could respond to one thing.
You know what's
Ms.
unbecoming of a
Turner's-
leader? You said this just in your testimony just like 5 minutes ago.
Yes, ma'am.
That you've said several things that are just disgusting and unbecoming of a leader, to use your words. It's unbecoming of a leader today to acknowledge what has happened to this young woman. You just look at her face and look what she has been through, the courage it took her to stand up for her rights as a woman and other women in other sports all across the country. And you can't even as a man look her in the eye and apologize for what happened to her. And as not one. And I yield back.
Did you hear that? A so-called women's rights advocate, Ms. Goss Graves, can't give a straight answer to the most basic question. What is a woman? She waffles, says an adult female, then immediately caves to radical gender ideology. A woman is anyone who identifies as a woman. Folks, this is not science. This is not common sense. This is not how societies operate. If we can't agree on what a woman is, how can we defend women's rights at all? Then Congresswoman Mace asks the hard questions. Should young girls just get used to penises in their locker rooms and showers? Should our daughters be forced to undress and shower in front of biological males? And what does the expert say? Nothing. No answer. Dodges the question. Let me tell you, as a parent, as an American, as someone who believes in the dignity and privacy of women and girls, this is outrageous. Our daughters deserve safe spaces. They deserve fairness and privacy in sports, in bathrooms, in locker rooms. Period. Thank God for President Trump, who had the courage to draw a line in the sand and protect women's sports. Because let's face it, men and women are built differently. That's not hate, it's biology. It's science. It's reality. When a biological male enters women's sports, it's not a fair game. When girls train their whole lives, earn scholarships, break records, only to have them snatched away by someone with an unfair physical advantage, it's not empowerment. It's not equality. It's erasing women. Then the hearing gets even more disturbing. Congresswoman Mace asks about the medicalization of children, puberty blockers, surgeries, irreversible changes, all in the name of inclusion. And again, the witness won't answer. Let's call this what it is, child abuse. Kids need protection, not drugs, not surgeries, not irreversible harm, especially not when they're too young to understand the consequences. And then, the emotional heart of the hearing. Stephanie Turner, an accomplished female athlete, was punished, ostracized, and silenced for standing up for her rights as a woman in sports. And the official from USA Fencing, Mr. Layfelt, refuses to apologize. Not even an ounce of empathy. Not even a look in her eyes. That's not leadership. That's cowardice. That's the face of this new radical ideology, so obsessed with inclusion that it tramples the women it claims to protect. Here's the bottom line, folks. Women's rights are under attack. Not by the patriarchy, not by conservatives, but by the very radicals who claim to defend them. The left talks a big game about empowerment and equality, but when push comes to shove, they erase women's spaces, destroy women's sports, and silence anyone who speaks up. We're told to sit down and shut up, or else we're bigots and lunatics. Well, I'm not going to shut up, and neither should you. This isn't about hate, it's about truth. It's about fairness. It's about protecting our daughters, our sisters, our mothers, and every woman who fought for the rights we now take for granted. If you're tired of the double standards, if you believe women are real, biological, and deserving of their own spaces and opportunities, now is the time to speak out. Call your representatives. Support leaders who stand up for women, like Nancy Mace. Share this video. Have the uncomfortable conversations. Because if we lose the ability to speak the truth, we lose everything. This is the hill to die on, folks. For the future of women's rights. For the future of America. Thank you for watching. Stay strong, stay proud, and never apologize for speaking the truth.